So the next problem in the lead code we are solving is can place flowers. Okay, so here will be given the flower bed. Okay, and indicating that different plots. Okay, it's a list of list of plots. Okay, and let's say that if it says 1, it means that it is already planted on that plot. Okay, if it says 0, it is not planted. Okay, and here will be given the number of flowers to us. Okay, here we are given the 1 flower, we'll have to plant it somewhere in the flower bed. Okay, and here we are given the 2 flowers, we'll have to plant it. Okay, so now the condition is we cannot plant the flower in between. Like, I mean, there should be space between before and after. Okay, there should not be planted in the adjacent plots, right? Adjacent plots should be empty. Okay, so let's say that when we begin, right, when we begin, it's a valid one because we don't have anything in the before, right? That's a valid one. And also in the at the end also, it's a valid one. Okay, consider this as a 0 itself. Okay, here also there is some 0 here and there is some 0 here. Okay, that's a valid point. Okay, so now when we start checking for the plots, so when we come here and it's already occupied, correct? We want to plant one more, so it's already occupied. We'll go to the next. Previous one is already occupied because adjacent plots should be empty, right? So once we come here, previous one is also empty, next one is also empty, so we can plant our flower here. Okay, so it will be like 101010. Okay, 101. Okay, so it will look like that. And now we are done with that, right? N is done, so we are done here. So it will return true. We are successfully able to plant 1 flower. Okay, now next condition, the same example, but n is equal to 2 this time. Okay, so we were here, right? It was looking like 10101. Okay, now once we come here, I mean, we have planted one here and we are left with one more plant. And when we come here, the previous one is also occupied, past one is also, like, I mean, next one is also occupied. We cannot plant it here, it is already occupied, we cannot do anything. So at the end we are left with one more plant, so we are not able to plant all of the plants that were given to us, so we'll have to return false. Okay, so now coming to the code, right? So there we can do it like this. Like, we can run a while loop. Okay, and we can check the start index. Like, for the start, there's a special case, right? For the start index, we'll have to make sure that what was the previous value. Like, when we iterate, right, we need to make sure that previous there's a special condition, right, for the starting one and for the ending one. Let's say that there's a 1 here. Okay, there's a 1 here and there is a 0 here. Sorry, here there is a 1 0 and it is also 0. Okay, and we are asked to plant one more. Okay, so when we iterate through it, we'll this is a valid one, correct? Previous one is 0, but there is nothing in the next, right? If there is nothing in the next, that's also valid one, correct? 0 1 0, that's a valid one. So what we'll do is, either what we can do is we can have this special condition written in a loop. Okay, check if we are iterating for the first element, that can consider this condition. If you are checking for the last element, have this special condition. We can do that. Instead, what we can simply do is we can increase our flower bed simply. Like, I mean, for our ease of use, right, we'll just increase our flower bed like this, because we know that beginning and ending is a valid. Okay, we increase the flower bed, so now this makes our task easier. Okay, like, now what we'll have to do is we'll check if the previous, we'll check for, we can check easily for the previous element. We don't have to do the explicit check, like if it is a high is equal to 0, high is equal to less than length, and all those things we don't need to do actually, right? We can check the previous one and we can check the next one, we can check the current one. If any of this is already planted, we cannot use that slot, so we'll go to the next one. Okay, so once this condition is not satisfied, so it means that it's a valid slot. We'll plant the flower there, and we'll decrease our flower count. Okay, once we run out of all the flowers, it means that we are successfully able to plant all the flowers, so we'll just return it as true. If the for loop completes, right, so in that case we'll have to return false, because there is something that is left, right? So if it was not if you are successfully able to plant all of them, we would have returned true. In that, else we'll be returning false. And if there is a condition also that there can be n is equal to 0, like, I mean, no full plants issued, in that case we'll have to return true. That's it. Thanks. And this is the result.